My name is Manuela. I'll be guiding you through a very short and sweet meditation today, and all we're going to be focusing on is slowing down the breath, watching the breath, and really experiencing the breath in this moment. There's so many different meditations we can take, and they all have really great benefits. Our breath is such a great tool for presence and awareness in the body, and the benefit of watching, so many benefits to it, but one of the great benefits of just sitting in mindfulness in your meditation, observing how you're breathing, where you're breathing, allows us to move back into a functional breathing pattern. Most of us breathe in our upper body, our neck, our shoulders, our upper chest area, versus using our diaphragm, which is our main breathing muscle. Now, these muscles around the neck and the upper back, they're what's known as accessory breathing muscles. So when we're doing something like a marathon, or we've completely exceeded the usage of our diaphragm, then we should be using those muscles. But when we're in our regular day-to-day activities, whether it's a meditation or at work, whatever we're doing, we should be using our diaphragm to its fullest capacity. Like I said, most of us overbreathe as well. We breathe really fast, we breathe really shallow. When we breathe in that way, we're not actually optimizing the oxygen that moves into our body. When it comes to our lungs, there's a upper, a middle, and a lower part of our lungs. Now, the blood that needs the absorption of oxygen is in the lower part of our lungs. If we're breathing very short and shallow, yes, we're still taking in oxygen, but not as much. I think about 20 to 30%, maybe even 40%. I can't remember the exact science or the exact amount. We're taking in almost half of the oxygen that we can be taking in if we're slowing down our breath. So here we go. Find a comfortable seat, move your sitting bones back, find a little arch in your low back. Hopefully you have something to sit on so you feel nice and comfortable. Your thigh bones are extending, moving away from your pelvis. You don't feel contracted through your hip flexors or your psoas. You don't feel rounded in your low back. You don't feel hunched over. So we're thinking of space and freedom here to allow the lungs to expand. Hands in any position, palms down, palms up, whatever feels comfortable for you. Your eyes can be open, they can be closed. I'm gonna go with eyes closed. That brings a lot more awareness for me, but go for whatever feels comfortable to you. Close your eyes, or again, keep them open. And right away, bring your attention to the movement of the breath. Where are you feeling? And while you'll feel a little bit of movement through the upper chest, we want to make sure that the predominant movement is not happening in the upper chest, the shoulders, and our neck. Let's walk our awareness down to the lowest part of our front ribs, the base of our rib cage. And so your diaphragm lives right there. It's shaped like a dome, or I also like to think of it as a jellyfish or a parachute. It contracts on the inhalation. It descends slightly in order to create space for the lungs to expand. And then it relaxes and gently lifts to press out the air or the carbon dioxide out of the lungs. I invite you to visualize that your lungs are like two balloons, and the bottom of your rib cage are like two hands holding these balloons. As you take an inhale, imagine that the balloons are expanding into these hands. And as you exhale, imagine that these hands are gently pressing the air out of these two balloons. And as you do this, notice the rate of your breath. in James Nestor's new book, Breath, he talks about how we should be breathing 6 cycles of breath per minute. Between 6 and 10. And that's really hard for us because most of us are breathing so quickly that we're way beyond that mark. Between 50 and 15 or even 20. So as you bring the awareness to how and where the breath is moving, as you bring the awareness to your diaphragm, really focus on slowing down the inhalation and slowing down the exhalation. Notice the gentle sound, the gentle whisper. And notice a rhythm. Notice how with each and every conscious breath, your body relaxes and your thoughts start to lessen. If your mind wanders off, which is normal, that's what it does. We were created to think. It's one of the human functions. Just pull it back to those sweet sensations, that sweet rhythm of your breath. Before we exit, let's make a conscious effort to, throughout the day, remind ourselves to breathe, or to at least notice, observe, and watch the breath. Let's remind ourselves to be more self-aware, more present, less in the chatter of our minds and our thoughts, and more in our physical body. And let's seal this meditation by bringing our hands together at our heart center, so known as our heart chakra, ajna, and our heart chakra, anahata, my apology, and our thumbs to the space in between our eyebrows, ajna, our third eye. Let's bow. There you go. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be long. The mindfulness comes from just taking the time to notice, to watch, and to observe. I'll see you guys next time. Have a beautiful day.